Of all the games that released late last year, easily one of the best games was Control. Remedy's strange sci-fi epic was incredibly memorable, and it delivered one of the most unique game experience of the generation. I played it on the PS4 Pro last year, and whilst it was an amazing game, there was issues with its performance, with quite a few frame rate issues throughout. It was a game that pushed current gen consoles to the brink, so a Switch port was obviously never gonna happen. Yet in the latest Nintendo Direct Mini, it was announced that Control was launching on Switch with thanks to the power of the cloud. So it's been out for a little while now, so let's see how it works. Control Ultimate Edition on Switch sees the original developer Remedy teaming up with Ubitus, a cloud-based game company, to bring the game to Switch. Cloud gaming has been done before on the Switch with Resident Evil 7 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but they were Japanese only titles, so Control is the first cloud-based Switch game launching worldwide. If you don't know what cloud gaming is about, well, here's the gist. The Switch frankly can't and highly likely will never be able to run the game unless it has some heavy cutbacks. So instead of running on the Switch, it's streaming it online from Ubitus online servers, which can run the game with ease. It's a clever way to bring more technically demanding games to Switch, but there's a few caveats here. First up, you don't actually own the game. As in any time in the future, Ubitus can pull the plug and close the servers and you can't play the game no more. Also, you're required a constant internet connection as well as a decent one as that to properly run the game. If it interests you, you can download the game and play a free trial of it to see if your internet can run it. Then you can pay a £35, $40 pass to play the game whenever you want. The entry price is a bit rich for a game you never actually own, however. The game has two different performance modes. You have the enhanced graphics mode that has higher detail and ray tracing graphics at 30 FPS, and you also have a slightly less detailed version that ditches the ray tracing for 60 FPS. Playing the game in both modes is pretty darn impressive. There is issues here with the resolution looking a bit off here and there, but this may be down to my internet. As for the frame rate, it is actually pretty rock solid throughout. There is issues here with the input latency, however. For the majority of the game it's fine, though there is a few times when the game felt like it was lagging behind. Again, this could be due to my internet, but I have heard similar things from other people. Onto the story now, and the game follows a young woman called Jessie Faden who enters a building called the FBC, the Federal Bureau of Control, to try and find out some information about her long-lost brother. A little while into the game, Jessie finds herself becoming a director of the company and gaining control of this powerful gun known as the service weapon. Not long after that, the FBC gets locked down after an infestation of these creatures called the Hiss, which are possessing people inside the building. So it's up to Jessie to explore the oldest house to defeat the Hiss and ultimately find out what happened to her brother. The game's story is still fantastic. It's filled to the brim with supernatural whatnot, and the journey of Jessie, the history of the FBC, and finding out what the heck is actually going on is still one of the best stories of this generation. As for the gameplay now, the game is a third-person action game that sees Jessie using the service weapon, a living, breathing gun that can change weapon types, from being a normal handgun to a shotgun to a minigun. Your gun doesn't need ammo, instead it has a cooldown timer, which can make these sections waiting for your gun to reload rather tense. But it isn't just your service weapon Jessie can use, as she also has many different telekinesis abilities to make her feel a bit like a Jedi. She can pick up items from afar and then throw them at enemies, take over enemy mines to fight by your side, and she can even pick up debris to use as a shield. You gain these abilities quite frequently throughout the adventure, and they really do spice up the gameplay and make each firefight you get into incredibly exhilarating. Exploration is a big part of the gameplay as well, exploring the incredibly well designed oldest house with its rather stylish designed office blocks and other worldly areas. I don't want to spoil. The game is split into several different maps representing different floors of the building, and you're free to explore the oldest house to your heart's content, and it is a real big joy. There is a sense of Metroidvania here as you gain keycards to access older areas, and there's also loads of secrets to find in each of the areas as well. On to the length now, and the game isn't all that long, taking you only about 10 to 15 hours to reach the game's ending, depending on if you focus on the side stories and collectibles. And actually, this short length is incredibly refreshing for a change. It's nice to play the game that you can complete in a few sittings rather than one that could take upwards of 50 plus hours. As this is the Ultimate Edition, the game includes all the previously released DLC and quality of life improvements for the game. We have the AWE and Foundation expansions. The Ore expansion is rather a fun crossover with the Alan Wake series. Fans of that game will certainly get a kick out of this. And the Foundation expansion is a nice new addition that expands on the oldest house. Both these DLCs are well welcome and worth playing indeed. Conclusion time now, and Control Ultimate Edition on Switch is certainly an interesting experiment, bringing cloud gaming on the Switch for the first time in the West, and for the most part it does work, but like all cloud-based games, it's a bit of an odd situation as you don't technically own the game and you always have to be online. If this is your only way to play the game, then by all means give it a go, as Control is still a phenomenal experience that needs to be played. Just hope your internet is strong enough to stream it, so with that, I'm giving Control Ultimate Edition on the Switch an 8 out of 10 with the title of great. As always, thank you for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could like and subscribe, that would be brilliant. And until next time, happy gaming. Bye.